What's up guys, Lockjaw here, and I want to talk about the brand new Pikmin game for 3DS, which we now know is going to be called Hey Pikmin. This new take on Pikmin looks very promising. If you don't already know, I'm a huge Pikmin fan, so when I first saw this game, I was very intrigued. I wanted to know more about it, like the story, how the gameplay will work, what the controls will be like, all that good stuff. Luckily, the trailer during the recent Direct helped give me more of an insight on what this game is going to be like. For instance, we now know that this game is being classified as a 2D platformer, which is very different from what we're used to from the console Pikmin games. The trailer gave us a good glimpse into what the game will be like, however, it was just a fragment of what the full game will have to offer. So, with all that being said, I decided to make a quick list of the top 3 things I'd really like to see in Hey Pikmin. Alright guys, so this list is in no particular order, these are just the 3 things that I would really like to see in this game. So I'm going to start off with good use of the 3DS capabilities. So, for instance, it has 2 screens. It has one of which is a touch screen. It also has the ability to show us the game in 3D. So all of these things I'd really like to see implemented in fun and creative ways. And in the trailer, we actually saw a lot of this stuff. So we did see the use of 2 screens. We saw some of the bigger enemies being on the top screen, or some of them even taking up both screens, which is nice. And I think that is a really good use of having both screens, is being able to show things, especially things that are going in or being a part of both screens at once, like the big enemies, or like I think in one of the shots in the trailer, they had it where an enemy was shooting fire down from the top screen into the bottom screen. Also, we did see a little bit of what the touch screen will have to do with this game. So we did see the whistle in the bottom right corner in the bottom screen, and we also saw the Pikmin. So I'm assuming you're going to be able to tap on the Pikmin that you want, and then anywhere you tap on the screen is probably going to be where you can toss them. So that's going to be pretty nice, and I think that's actually a really nice way to have the touchscreen implemented in this game. I think that's going to work really well. They actually did have the in the Wii U Pikmin 3, they did have it where you could use the touchscreen on the gamepad, and it worked okay, but I think it's going to work a lot better in the 3DS version, so I'm really looking forward to that. Another way they could really take advantage of the touchscreen would be mini games. I'm thinking more of like how they did it in Mario 64 DS, where it's not part of the core game. It has nothing to do with the core game. Maybe stuff you do in the main game will unlock mini games, but it's more of just a side thing, just an extra mode to take advantage of. I think this would be such a perfect game to do that with, because I think there's so many possibilities with Pikmin. You know, there's so many different types. They all have their own unique abilities and characteristics. I think it would be perfect to have mini games centered around the Pikmin. It would be really nice too if you actually get to be the Pikmin. I think that would be a nice change as well. Also, it would be cool if maybe you could be some enemies like the Bulborbs. I just think there's so many possibilities and ideas that can really take advantage of the touchscreen, and be able to play mini games using the touchscreen. So yeah, I think that would be really nice to have. It's just a separate mode apart from the main game. Give us some mini games that involve Pikmin, and they can also have the captains in it, and maybe some enemies too. Like I said, the Bulborbs. It'd be cool to take control of one of those as well. Alright, so another thing that I'd really like to see in Hey Pikmin would be another captain, but like as an antagonist. So they would act as a rival to Olimar. So like what Wario is to Mario or Shadow is to Sonic. I think this would really add a lot to the story of the game. I think they could do a lot with it. And yeah, I mean, the way I envision it is, they would have either their own type of Pikmin, which would be really cool, or the same as Olimar. But regardless, it would be really cool to see that counterpart to Olimar. And then I think the fights would be really interesting too. Because, like I said, they would both be doing similar things and fighting the same way. But yeah, I think, and also, yeah, like I was saying, the story, I think this would just be a really cool take on Pikmin. I mean, they've never done this before. They kind of did it in number 3, where they were kind of, Olimar and Louie, and then the other 3 captains that you were in the game. But I think that they weren't really like villains, you know what I mean? So this captain could be like an actual villain. He'd have bad intentions, and Olimar would have to stop him, as well as getting parts for his ship. So, I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities here, though, and I'd like to see what they could do with it. Alright, and the last thing that I'd like to talk about that I want to see added to Hey Pikmin is, of course, new Pikmin. I want to see this in every new Pikmin game, really. So this comes as no surprise, I don't think. But yeah, so I'm going to name off a few. I quickly jotted down some notes, and I came up with some possibilities, and I gave them some traits, like what they would specialize in, I guess. So I was thinking, you know, they haven't used the color green yet, so they could do a green Pikmin. The idea I had for the green Pikmin was maybe they'd be like reptilian looking, kind of like a gecko. So because of that, you know, they'd be great at climbing, maybe be able to get to certain areas that other Pikmin can't, climb, you know, even on ceilings, and just they would set it up to where you could see where they could go, but they would specialize in climbing certain things in certain areas that, yeah, other Pikmin can't quite latch onto, because of that. Because they would be kind of, like I said, similar to geckos, maybe. And it would be really cool to see them kind of look like it, you know, scaly, that reptilian look to them. So I think that would be really nice. Another one, you know, orange. Orange hasn't been used. So I wasn't really too sure. I was trying to think of a more creative, you know, thing to give the orange Pikmin, but I thought of burrowing. So like they would be able to burrow underground. They could pursue enemies who dig. They could find items. You know, obviously get to areas, crawl under the ground, and get to areas that other Pikmin can't. And yeah, so that one, I don't know. I mean, there's, even for the green one, I think there's a bunch of different things they could give to them, or, you know, abilities that they could give to them. So you guys can let me know in the comment section what you think. If you have different colors or different ideas, you can let me know. But the last one I thought of, and this one's a little bit more creative, it is nocturnal Pikmin. So obviously, these Pikmin can only be out during the night, and that's very different because you cannot usually be out at night in a Pikmin game. So this would allow you to be able to go out at night, see enemies you can't normally see, and yeah, I think that would be a really cool take on the Pikmin series. You know, you can't usually be out at night because normal Pikmin can't survive at night. So if you make a Pikmin that is, you know, strives during the nighttime, then you would allow access to, you know, to that time of, you know, so you wouldn't only have to be out during the day. You could be out during the night as well. Another way they could do this would be calling them vampire Pikmin. I think this, I don't know, I just thought that would be pretty cool, to where it would pretty much be the same, like I said, nocturnal, because vampires can't be out during the day, they can only be out during the night. So I think that would be another way. You could just give them a cooler name, I guess, and then instead of calling them nocturnal or whatever, you can call them vampire, or slapping a color onto them and calling them that. You can just call them vampire Pikmin. And a couple more attributes that you could give them, or abilities, I guess I should say, would be maybe they'd be really good at hunting. So they'd be maybe stronger, faster, just everything, just better at hunting than your typical Pikmin. And since that would be the only Pikmin you could have at night, you'd probably need them to be a little stronger anyway. I also had where they can latch onto enemies more firmly, you know, because they'd have vampire teeth, or fangs, I should say. So they can't be knocked off as easily. So you latch them on, and you don't have to worry about them being shaken off by the enemy. And yeah, like I said, those would as well. It would just be playing off the nocturnal Pikmin, and they would be just a different take on it. And I think that would be pretty cool. Yeah, so they could only be out at night, and it would allow you access to the nighttime, you know, instead of just only being able to be out during the day. So I think that would be really cool. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it for what I would like to see as far as new Pikmin go. But anyway, yeah, I think that's actually going to do it. I hit the top 3 things, like I said, no particular order, that I would like to see for Hey Pikmin. And yeah, I want to know what you guys want to see. You know, if you agree with me, if you disagree, if you want to see other things. I'm sure you guys have a lot of great ideas. I'd really like to hear them. I'm extremely hyped for this game. Like I said, I love Pikmin. It's one of my favorite franchises in video games, so I'm really looking forward to this game. And yeah, please feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. I would really like to hear them. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. It really helps us out, and we really appreciate it too. And yeah, if you want to see more from the AZBros, go ahead and subscribe. Check out our other videos. Let us know what you think of them. But yeah, like I said, that's going to do it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.